Welcome back everybody to Movie Do Gold and Treasure Prospecting. If you've caught up with the last few videos, you've seen I have been lucky enough to receive these different sorts of mats, and I've been testing them on the Wee Jock cleanup sluice. I tried this one yesterday. That's kind of similar to what you call Dream Mat. It actually caught every single speck. There was not one piece in the tailings tub, so it did a 100% job of catching the gold. Very impressive. I've got this one too. It's a deeper sawtooth, wider gapped. But on this one, what I'm going to try, this is a sawtooth, but it's got three larger kind of ripples. I'm going to draw you in so I can show you what I mean. So if I just bring it round here and focus down for you, you can see it's got three of those larger sawtooth ripples before it goes down to the small again. So let's give it a go and see how it runs. So the Dream Mat, 100% catch rate, so it seemed. So let's see how we get on with this. So I'm going to try a different pay dirt. I've got some 1 gram from the Old Mouldy. Let me see if we can get that light a bit better for you. 1 gram pay dirt from the Old Mouldy. I've had great success with these before. I've had it indoors for about a month or so, so now these mats have come, it's a great reason to crack it out. So I'm going to run it through. I think that's probably 1/4 inch. I think that's 1/4, maybe half, just to take out the larger stones. I'll drop that out of the way. I've got the sluice running beautifully. It's a nice shape down the centre, it's nice and level. So, wonder if there'll be any surprises in this one today. The last bag had some enormous garnets in. Well, see, I can immediately find great big lumps of rock. Oh, look at that. Wow, and I've had to break that up. That almost looks like quartz. Oh, that's a big old chunk of. No, so I should have actually put that through the sieve. There's me saying that. So anyway, I'll empty this into the screen and have a shakedown, just in case. I can keep the larger chunks out and grind down some of these smaller. I can see plenty of black sand there. Dusty old stuff. Big old chunks of quartz. Some of them actually coloured in my recent success with the Old Mouldy ore. It's really got my intrigue up now. No, there's nothing immediately jumping out at me. I think that's it. Oh, so there it is. That's what we're doing today. 1 gram Old Mouldy, and we're testing it. Testing it over the new mat design. Just checking that. Let's get rid of them larger lumps. They can clog up the top of the sluice. So I think I've got most of the bigger chunks out. Get out of the way. Let's grab a little bit of water. Mucky stuff, look at that. That was that great big clump of something on the quartz I found. I'm going to give that a good wash around. You can't knock it, it's genuine gravels. Look how mucky that water is, can you see that? Genuine gravel, so you're going to get little bits of other in there, so I'm just going to drain out. I'm going to drain that out into there actually, sensibly. So yeah, quite a lot of sediment still there. Let's give it another wash out, just in case. There we go, that's not too bad. Sorry, I'm terrible for this, aren't I? I get easily distracted by colour in the pan. So, right, that's about it. Let's drain that off and let's run this over. You see how it does? Plenty of black sand in this. Yeah, that's grabbed onto that plenty well. I can see the gold. It's travelled over the first hump, and I can see it ridged up onto the second. I don't see much evidence of anything in the third area yet. I will check my tailings because it's possible that the gold will. Well, I can see a nice line of gold right at the very top, so it caught it well there. I can see a little bit into the second section, but nothing in the third. I've run this material before over the Flower Gold Wizard micro cleanup sluice. Yeah, I can. There might be digging in right at the end. I do see the gold travelling over the larger mounds. I don't know if I've got the flow up too high, but I wouldn't say so. I'd say you'd have to have it quite excessive to actually wash the gold out. I can see some gold at the bottom. It is catching it there. Oh, there's a nice shine of gold there, but it's building up behind them larger ridges. I'll get the material put over it and I'll show you what I mean. It is holding the black sands. I do see some gold sat right at the bottom where there is the last ridge. So there's a lot of black sand in there. Oh, I can see some nice pieces of gold now. It is travelling down though. I will have to check these tailings. I can see it right down in the bottom here. So I've got a pan. There's a pan there, so we will check that. That's all right. I'm thinking the gold will sit. Made rather a mess of that. Get all your material down to that final section. Away from the ripples, honestly move. I can see some very fine gold in this, which is often the case from the famous Reedy Creek, so it's all good. Ooh, look at that, I can see it washes the black sand over them big ripples. I can see gold in the bottom. I can see, oh, look at it. Right. Quite excited to show you this. Now I'm going to have to get this last bit in. And then I'll show you. Let's fill this up. Tank's due and empty. I'd recently been working on excuse me, some ½ gram plus ore from the Old Mouldy, and if you've seen some of the videos, I found some astonishing specimens in there, 8 in total I believe. I was just almost lost for words. One specimen was 1/4 gram on its own, quite stunning. I gave this ore a little fire and just gave it a tap in the dolly pot, and there were specimens everywhere. I couldn't believe my eyes. So, and then I went for a second crush to crush it again, and unfortunately for me, in the meantime, my son had some pay dirt to pan out from Goldwise, and unfortunately he panned out his pay dirt on top of my ore crush. Yeah, bless his little cottons. So unfortunately, it's kind of lost now. It's not, it's in there. So, but it now means I'm going to have to crush absolutely everything in this trough. So I'm going to empty it out the next couple of days, dry it out, and I'm going to run everything through the dolly pot and then run it over the micro sluice. Hopefully I'll get to that in the next couple of days. So, yeah, that's caught a bigger old stone there, guys. Now I'm going to bring you down. I've run all the material through and I can see some fabulous gold in there, so I'm going to come and grab you and then I'm going to show you. See if I can do this nicely. Here we go. So yeah, I'm using a sawtooth design with 3 larger kind of ripples set in. I'll bring you around here, and if you can see, there is gold right at the very bottom there. Right at the very bottom there's gold. Some beautiful pieces there actually. So in this second section there you can see some gold, and there's quite a build up of sand behind the larger ripple, so it does bed down there. So if there is a larger piece, I can see the sands all jumping and dancing around in there. Right in there you can see them dancing. So it is still being agitated. I wonder if I leave it running a while, it will thin out those black sands. There's the second tier there. There's a nice line of gold there. The contrast is good, isn't it? And there's the top tier, so it has grabbed. Well, there is a tiny section there, and then I'd say that, you know, the topish tier, there's a beautiful line of gold in there. Pretty much running all the way across. And in that section right there. Oh, will it catch everything like the dream mat style? Now this is the one I used yesterday, and it caught 100% of the gold. Now I've got this one to test yet. A slightly wider sawtooth. Plenty of gaps, but quite chunky. Now this is the standard, which I've used many a time, and it, you know, it's held on to some great gold. And that one's slightly bigger. So this one with its different ripple design, there is gold right at the bottom, so it has travelled all the way down the sluice. So the tailings tub will be interesting to look at. I'm going to give it a little while and see if it's actually thinning out anything. Yeah, I can see black sands in my hand, so it is still thinning out the black sands. Look at that beautiful line of gold there, look at that. Woo-wee. Thank you, Chris from the Old Mouldy. Does the 1 gram bogus pay dirt and many others as well. I've had so much fun with them. I've got some more ore coming. This is unprocessed ore from the Old Mouldy. I've grabbed a kilo of it, so postman's kind. I'll have it here in a couple of weeks and we can get crushing and see if I can find any more fabulous specimens. So thanks for joining me again. Having great fun testing these new mats, and it has really caught the gold, but I guess the proof's in the pudding of checking the tailings. So I'm going to let this run a little while, check the tailings pan and then empty that out and have a look at the gold. I'll probably knock out a little short just to show you the story so far. This is No2 Gold and Treasure Prospecting, signing off.